Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through the Supreme Arena defenses I've come up with for this week. We're going to lead it off with the free-to-play team number 1. This is going to be the Theodore Siren combo, which is doing well in the previous weeks as well. We have Nero to take an enemy Lily May interruption, Theodore energy boosting the Siren if you have Theodore at plus 10 exclusive equipment, which you should make a priority. Then we have Ravion buffing up Lily May and also Siren in the back, because they are the rearmost heroes and they are your major form of damage, and that is why we positioned it in such a way. We have the Star Shower artifact, which does really well with this team. It's really good for initial like nuking damage, and also it gives them a temporary stat buff, which is going to benefit Lily May to give her a growth stack. So overall, I'm happy with this team. I think it's a really good free-to-play option. And it should be doing well for you this week as well. Moving on to team number 2, it is going to be the Chimera Stroll type comp. However, the maps this week have been brutal. Basically, in order to arrange a twins comp, it's been really difficult. So I think this was the best I could come up with for the mid-level of teams. Now, number 1, we do have a Bonnie here. And Bonnie, you need to have her on a non-symmetrical tile, so if the enemy goes for Sylvina, they will not be able to stun her and prevent her from debuffing you. And that's what we've done here. We have Damon up front buffing up the Bonnie to protect her and also increase her attack, which is all fine. Damon's going to tank for us. We also have Ludovic in the back to heal Chimera, and we have Chimera on the Stellar Bond of Twins for that buff and that energy generation. We do have the Earth Shell spell, which is going to be the tanky artifact choice, and then we just have the Phantom Wall behind the Bonnie over here. So overall, I think this is a good option. I mean, again, the maps are not ideal for a Chimera comp, but it should still get the job done. Moving on to team number 3, this is going to be the Pandora Gala team for a budget, like, players who do not have maybe many Paragons yet. You're a newer player, and Valara is a hero which you probably have invested as a newer player because she's a major priority. You might even have her at plus 20, plus 25 exclusive equipment. So Valara is going to immediately provide a magic circle to shield up our team a bit, debuff the enemies, and then we have Gala in the back with the Pandora charms buffing her. That is going to further increase her damage, and she's going to go into the Pandora's box. She's going to come out 4 seconds in the match, easily able to cast an ultimate because Iron will take a potential Lily May interruption because he's going to immediately cast ultimate. We also have Almas as a tank who can prolong the duration of crowd control and knockdowns, which has synergy with Almas, Iron. And then we just have the Wild Phantomal. We have Pandora in a position that she's not going to be easily targetable. There's no symmetrical tiles, so she can't, like, the Rainier shenanigans are not going to work onto her. That's something you always want to protect, basically protect against, because if anyways Rainier your Pandora, they can easily burst her. And Mana Expel, just because when you come out of the box, you're going to have this buff running, and it's going to just power up Gala's damage further. So for the mid teams, team number 1 is going to be the same. It's just, again, effective. Nero to take a Lily May interruption of the enemy, and Siren to cast ultimate really soon. And also another thing I didn't mention about this map, you can really group up people nicely in this map due to like how locked up it is, and so Siren has good value here. Moving on to team number 2, this is going to be the Tassi Pandora comp. Now we have it positioned where you might think, well, isn't Pandora in danger here? The thing is, she's going to be in a little bit of danger, like enemies can focus fire her, but she's going to have this damage reduction right from the beginning of the match. And that's going to be basically good for keeping her alive. And also, most importantly, I just don't want her to be Rainier swappable or anything like that. And I wanted to make good use of her charms. And we also need to have Bonnie on a tile where Bonnie is not, like, jumpable by Sylvina. So that's why we arranged it like this. We're going to have Iron to crowd control or take a Lily May interruption. And Tassi will come out of the box, guns blazing, ready to blow up the enemy team. So that's basically what we have for this team. And yeah, okay, moving on to team number 3. Team number 3 is going to be the Chimera comp. I think that, again, this is not the ideal map for the comp because, like, your Callan is separated from your Chimera and things like that. However, I think it should still be effective. We have Chimera on the Stellar Bond, Damon buffing up Chimera, protecting her, and Ludovic will be healing grouped up allies in the back, and then eventually he'll transfer his Everbloom field to whoever needs it, which might be up here to Chimera. with the Earth Shell spell. That's going to be great for tankiness, and if the enemy places any heroes here, Kalin is just going to tank them for days, and that is basically the game plan. You just wait for Shamira to cast her ultimate, and hopefully win you the fight off of that. So that is it for the mid teams, and before we move on to the pay to win teams, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated, so thank you so much for your support. Okay, so here we have pay to win team number 1, and we are using the Perseus, Lily May, Zandrock squad, which I was using in the previous week as well. However, I think this is a pretty interesting map to use it on because we can destroy these obstacles really easily with the Zandrock ability, and Perseus will be able to begin running down everyone. We have Ravron buffing up Lily May and Perseus in the back. That is really important. We have the Mana Weak spell for another temporary stat buff, Leica for a temporary stat buff, and that energy boosting. And then we just have the Wild Phantom to tank for us for a little bit. And even if, for example, it's a bit of delay for Zandrock to destroy the obstacles, Perseus can run up the side. So if there are any enemies on this column over here, Perseus is going to begin attacking them and dealing damage. So really effective kind of regular faction comp, not using any Celestial Hypogeans, but is a really strong option that you can run. Let's move on to team number 2. So team number 2 is going to be the most pay to win team, and it is going to be the Exodia comp with Cryonaya that we have talked about in a couple of previous videos in Supreme Arena. So Downlinger is going to be protecting from enemy ultimates and also allowing your Cryonaya to ultimate. Aliceth further protection and buff onto Cryonaya, and then very importantly, Ulna protecting the Cryonaya. Ulna is essential for these hypercarry comps, and you know, it could have been that Gunner would have worked in these comps eventually when he comes, but right now in his current state, he is not going to be a great option as a protector for your hypercarry because of the fact that if he drops below 60% health now, he's not going to provide invincibility to your ally. Ulna is better because Ulna provides the initial 6 seconds of invincibility. There's no way of breaking through that, and then again, when you drop to 50% health, whether it be Ulna or Cryonaya, it's going to proc again another 6 seconds of invincibility, so you are guaranteed 12 seconds of invincibility, and in all odds, you're actually going to get even more than that if you can survive the first 20 seconds. So we have Kulu to put up the barricade, give range defense buff for the team. It synergizes really well with Cryonaya. And then we just have Skyclaw's Phantom off to the side. Dunling is protected with this buff, which is useful. And we have Star Shower Artifact, which is really good for immediately nuking the enemy team. And that is the whole plan here. This is the Exodia comp because it can counter Saida teams, Stall teams, Athalia teams, basically everything with Cryonaya as a hypercarry. But you can use a different hypercarry here. If you wanted to use a team like this, but you don't have Cryonaya, you can use Shamira, you can use any Marcel, any range hypercarry you have. Definitely can work. However, Cryonaya is just the ultimate. Okay, moving on to team number 3. So the positioning is a bit awkward again this week. However, I think we came up with a pretty good strategy. They're going to energy boost Saida, so Saida is going to cast an ultimate really quick into the match. We have the twins buffing up Saida and Athalia to get them the maximum strength. Athalia is going to be nuking. Saida is going to be setting up her drain seeds, hopefully getting 3 ultimates off. And Celeste is just pretty well protected here in the back. And the other advantage of this artifact is the whole team is steadfast, so they're not going to be easily crowd controllable or even Rainier swappable, and that is important. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for the teams for this week. Hopefully they work out well for you. If you have any other ideas, feel free to share them in the comment section down below. Because, of course, you can always make your own modifications depending on which upgraded heroes you have. But thank you guys all so much for watching. That is going to be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.